Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to It's Rainmaking Time. This is Kim Greenhouse. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Nicola Scafetta. He is a doctor and a professor at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill as a visiting lecturer and an adjunct professor at Duke University. He has so much research interest and a lot of experience, and I thought he would be an interesting person to talk to about the role of the sun on climate, as well as issues related to CO2 and other concerns that we have about climate change. He's a contributing author of the book Climate Change Reconsidered, the report of the Nongovernmental International Panel on Climate Change, and he's the author of Climate Changes and Its Causes, a discussion about some key issues, disrupted networks from physics to climate change, along with Bruce West, and fractal and diffusion entropy analysis of time series, theory, concepts, applications, and computer codes for studying fractal noises and Levy walk signals. He's a brilliant man. He's got a lot of courage, and he's really looking at how the sun relates to what's happening on the Earth. His interests are biology, astronomy, climatology, the economy, geology, medicine, and social biology. And he's also currently studying solar and astronomical causes of climate change and modeling on physiological systems for diagnosing hypoxia and hyperoxia risk patients. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Dr. Nicola Scafetta to It's Rainmaking Time. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much for the invitation.
I love your accent.
Okay, I am Italian, yes.
I'm sure that people love to listen to you.
I hope so. Thank you.
My area of interest and why I really called you is that you had a very profound understanding of the role the sun has on climate change. And I wondered if you could share with our audience how they relate. And then we'll talk about other factors related to climate change.
Yes, sure. So sun, I believe that is extremely important. As you may know, since the ancient times, people were understanding that there is a strong relationship between what happens on the sun and what happens on the Earth. So a solar climate relation. And I believe that the main word that should be used to describe the linking between solar activity and climate is complexity, in the sense that the sun can influence the climate in multiple ways. There is not just one way. Okay, so that is the main issue, in my opinion. An issue that is not yet fully understood. So it is not understood how the sun influences climate, exactly because there are multiple ways how the sun can influence climate. And okay, so we can discuss this way if you would like. I can shortly summarize the several ways how the sun can influence climate.
Please do.
Yes. Okay, so first of all, the sun is influencing climate through its luminosity. Okay, so the luminosity is the energy that the sun produces in the unit of time, and this energy, so the light essentially, arrives on the Earth and warms the Earth. Okay, so this is what people usually know. However, the sun does much more than that. For example, the sun has also produced very powerful magnetic fields, and these magnetic fields can interact with the magnetic field of the Earth. And the total effect is that cosmic rays that are coming from outside the solar system are influenced by these magnetic fields produced by the sun. So essentially what happens is that when solar activity is strong, these magnetic fields produced by the sun are quite strong, and they work like a shield. So they shield the Earth from cosmic ray. When the solar activity is low, the shield is weak, and more cosmic ray arrives on the Earth. So the cosmic rays are important because many people believe that they are capable of ionize the atmosphere. So they create, they break the particles, and they form ions. And the ions attract water molecules, because water molecules are polar, okay, and they form the droplet, the droplets that then form the clouds. So cosmic ray can regulate little bit the formation of the cloud system. And the cloud system, as everybody knows, is capable to block the sun, okay, to block the light that we receive from the sun. And therefore, the sun can influence the climate in two different ways. One is through direct solar luminosity, but it can also influence climate indirectly through cosmic ray that regulates the cloud system. And both these mechanisms will eventually work for regulating the climate on the Earth. Now, if I may, I can continue a little bit this story, because the crucial point is that, so today everybody talks about global warming, climate change, and so on. Everybody is worried about the future. The problem is that the projection about the future, about climate change, are based on climate models that use only one of the two ways in which the sun can influence climate. So they essentially use the sun input just as a luminosity input. However, the other one, the regulation of the cloud system through cosmic ray, may be more important. And that mechanism is missing in the climate model. Therefore, the climate model ends up by underestimating the effect of solar activity on the climate, just because they model just one mechanism, while we know that there are at least two mechanisms through which the sun can influence climate.
Why do you think it is that most of us don't know that most of the concerns about climate have to do with what the modeling is telling us, and then most of us don't know what's being used in the modeling, so we can't separate apples from oranges?
Yes, so exactly. So the problem is that the physics. The people who work with the climate models are essentially, we can say that are a kind of engineer that work with equations that are already known, and then they put these equations, this physics equation, inside these computer programs. Okay, so that is what they do essentially. The problem is that the equations that regulate, that describe the link between solar activity and climate. So, for example, that link through cosmic ray, those equations are not yet fully known. Therefore, the climate modelers are not able to put that information inside their climate models, because they don't have a full set of equations that they can use for modeling the climate. And then there is also another issue.
Before you get to that other issue, I want to stop you on this one thing. Regarding the cosmic